Hello and welcome to my project pan update. It's been several weeks since I launched my project pan, and at this point I think I have enough progress to share. This was my first time starting a project pan, which is why the goals I set for myself were not very high. I really wanted to see how it goes for me, feel it out a little, and go from there. And because of that, I think I've made quite a lot of progress and I have a lot to share, even though it's just been a few weeks. As a reminder, I plan to finish 5 products. That is 2 lip liners from the brand Huda Beauty, an eyeliner from the brand Lovely, a face primer from a brand Wibo, and a mini concealer from Tarte. On top of that, I also set myself a specific amount of uses that I wanted to have for 3 different products, and that was 30 uses for a brow pen from the brand Iconic, 30 uses for a milk makeup bronzer, and 15 uses for an eyeshadow palette from Glaminatrix. I think it makes the most sense to start with the products that I managed to finish. The first one I don't have with me, and if you have watched my empties, you would already know which one that is. I have finished my milk makeup bronzer. There has been a misfortune. The packaging broke. I was not able to twist it up. I decided to declutter it because it was expired and the packaging broke. So that product I scratched from my project pan completely. We're done with it. The next product I managed to finish is, probably not surprising at all, my mini concealer from Tarte. I know that when you look at it, it might look as if it's pretty much full, like it's not finished at all, but I promise I can't get enough product out of it for it to make sense to continue using it. I'm scraping the sides quite a lot, and I've been doing that for a while, and some of it comes out, but it's not enough to continue using it. I can see inside of it that it's pretty much empty. I think while in general I really like the Shape Tape concealer from Tarte, this specific one didn't give me the experience that I would like. I don't feel like with this size and this size of the wand, I was able to really experience the concealer. The amount that was coming out was very small, and on top of that also the shade was just not for me. It was too dark for me, too yellow, so I was using it under my normal concealer on my under eyes, and that worked fine. I used it up this way, and now I have moved on to using my normal under eye color correctors. I'm happy to not have it anymore. I am also happy that I have used it up. It's nice to have an empty. But yeah, this one is also leaving my project pan. The next product that I managed to reach my goal on is my Glaminatrix eyeshadow palette. My goal was to use it for 15 times. Even though the number 15 is not a very high number, it felt surprisingly long. I don't think I ever use eyeshadow palettes consistently 15 times in a row. I always mixed around a little, so I would use one palette one day and different one the other day. And this time I really tried to only use this palette for 15 times in a row. I definitely felt like I really got to know it. I definitely tried out every single eyeshadow in the palette. And after forcing myself to use it so many times in a row, I got a little tired of it. I wanted to use something else. However, I really love the palette. I think it's great. I'm very happy to have it. I'm a really big fan of the mattes, which if you watched my Glaminatrix try-on video, you might have heard me say. The shimmers are also very beautiful, and they are multi-chromes or duochromes, most of them at least, and also sparkly ones. That's exactly what I like, so. One thing that surprised me a lot is that I managed to hit pan on one of the shades here. I really think it's because of the texture of this eyeshadow. I felt like it was more creamy, didn't feel exactly like a powder eyeshadow when I was using it. So when I wanted to use it with a brush, I was digging in the pan more to grab the product. So I think that might have caused me to hit pan on it so fast, because I didn't even use it for 15 times. I used the palette 15 times. This eyeshadow, I don't know how many times I used it, but it was not 15. It was less. So looking at it now, I do think that the pans are quite shallow. and there's not that much product in them. But at the same time, I'm not seeing the same amount of dent for the other shadows, so I don't think it would be a huge problem, unless maybe that's the only palette you use ever. I don't know. Definitely after using it for 15 times, I have several conclusions. One of them is I don't really want to put eyeshadow palettes in my project pan because I don't want to force myself to use the same eyeshadows so many times in a row. I feel like eyeshadow is that one thing that I really like changing from look to look and experimenting with. Plus, I don't think it makes sense considering how many eyeshadow palettes I have. If I focus on only one eyeshadow palette for 2 weeks in a row, I feel like I would not get to use all of my eyeshadow palettes in general in a year. Conclusion number 2 is I love the eyeshadow palette. I love Glaminatrix eyeshadow formula. I think I am a fan of the brand. I haven't tried anything else. I can't say anything about other things. I think they released blushes recently. Obviously, I haven't tried those. But I really like this palette. I am testing and so far positively surprised by the Fairy Lights palette. And I have quite a lot of their single eyeshadows and I also really like those. Another thing I noticed is some of them crease. And it's not something that I would normally pay attention to or notice so much because when I have my eyes open, you can't really tell. It's only when I close my eyes and like really look at the details, then I see that there's the shimmer eyeshadow creased in the crease of my eye. However, I was paying more attention to it after seeing some comments on Instagram. So definitely I can confirm if you were wondering. For me, a lot of these actually crease a little. I don't think it's bad, but if it's something that bothers you, then I guess that's useful to know. This palette is going out of my project pan and I am not going to be replacing it with any other eyeshadows. For now, I don't want to include any eyeshadows or eyeshadow palettes in my project pan for the reason that I mentioned earlier. This was the first and last for now. The next product that I also reached my goal in is the iconic Triple Precision Brow Definer. And it's the pen, pencil and spoolie combination product. My goal was to use it for 30 times and at this point I have used it for way more. According to my tracker, I used it for 47 times. I know that at the very beginning when I was launching Project Pan and including this product in it, I'm pretty sure I said that I don't really like it and I was not excited to use it. I think that is something that I really like about kind of forcing myself to use a product that I'm not sure about. I learn how to use it and I find a way to use it in a way that I enjoy. And that is exactly what happened with this one. I didn't enjoy it at first because it's different from what I'm used to and I had to learn how to use it in order to get results that I like. And because I was forcing myself to use it, at first only when people didn't really see me because I was kind of not really doing a good job, I managed to learn and figure out how I want to use it in order to get the results that I actually really enjoy. And while I still think that the color of the pen is definitely a bit too red for me, I figured out how to use it. I actually really enjoyed the results. I also really enjoyed how easy it was to use it, how fast my brow routine was when I was using it. And in general, I enjoyed it. I used it enough to learn it and enjoy it. I think that's something that sometimes bugs me when I see content creators, beauty content creators, say that they don't like something after using it for one time. Yeah, maybe you have so much experience that you can tell, but I definitely don't. So I don't know if you can have that much experience that you know. I don't know. Food for thought. Now I think I want to upgrade this product to the finish up category of my project pan. I think I want to finish it. At this point, I feel like I've made so much progress that I might as well finish up the product. So yeah, all in all, this product is continuing to stay in my project pan and I will try to use it up. For my next product, my goal was to use it up and I haven't reached it yet. I still have some product left, but I used it for 30 times. So I think it's quite a good progress. I didn't use it every single time when I was using eyeliner, but I was trying to use it as much as I can. I definitely was trying to remember it and I only used something else when this really didn't make sense for my eye look. And this is how much I have left. I feel like it will definitely last me still a few weeks, potentially. I'm not using that much eyeliner unless I start using it as a base for my inner corner or do proper lining with it. If I just use it in my waterline, I don't think it will be that fast. But I'm happy with where I got. And I think now with the spring season starting, it will still continue to work for the looks I want to do. I think I'll be able to finish it up quite soon. So this is staying in my project pan, and we'll see if next time it's out. My Huda Beauty lip liners went through some adventure. I think they definitely became smaller in size, especially the Muse lip liner. And I'm saying that they went through an adventure because I was sure that I lost my Muse lip liner while traveling. I couldn't find it. So I already put it in my empties and I came to terms with not having it anymore. And then I found it in my backpack. So it's back. So I have used my Muse shade for 30 times, which is why it's significantly smaller than the Bombshell one. And I used Bombshell for 22 times. So this is Muse and this is Bombshell. And they're both really good for every day for me. I use this one when I'm more interested in a cool tone lip and this one for warm tone. But I can make both of them work. I can't take them off. They really don't come off very easily. They are a bit dry at this point, but they still work. They still serve the purpose that they have to serve. And I think I'm so close to using them up that I will just continue. Especially this one, I think I'll be able to finish it up pretty quickly. I was already kind of getting excited about moving on to different lip liners when I thought I lost this one. But here we are, back again with them. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike them. I like them. I think they're good lip liners. It's just that I had them for a very long time, so I'm kind of tired of them. But I really want to finish them up. And they are good products. They are long lasting. They work with a lot of lip products that I have. And in general, they're really reliable. I guess the only thing I dislike about them is that I have to sharpen them. But on the other hand, I prefer sharpenable pencils because there's more pencil in them. I feel like those twist up ones sometimes have just this amount of product in general. So yeah, this is where we are. And I'll continue to focus on using them up. Last but not least, there was also a spoiler for this product in my last video, but my Wibo Mermair Tears face primer has been used quite a lot. As you can see, I'm over half done with it. And honestly, I'm even quite surprised how fast it went. I don't think I expected it to go down this fast. I thought it will take me more time. So now looking at how much I have left, I think this is like a month and a half, max 2 months of use, which I don't really think it will be 2 months. I think it will be less. I am happy to use it up and move on to my other however amount of primers that I have to use up. But this is a very nice experience. I really like using it. It's moisturizing. It kind of feels like I'm using a moisturizer. It makes my skin feel hydrated, glowy, in a natural, hydrated way. It has some iridescence to it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can't see it on the face at all. Generally, good experience for a very affordable price. So I think if you're somewhere where you can get it, especially I think that would be in Poland, I would recommend checking it out. There's also another one, I think Unicorn Tears, that is also similar. It's in the pink bottle, it's not transparent. And that one is also, it smells nice, I think like cotton candy, if I remember correctly. And it's also similarly hydrating and generally pleasant experience. So whichever one you prefer, I do recommend both of them. And yeah, I'm keeping this one in my project pan and I expect to see it empty by my next update. After those updates, I am left with just 4 products, 5 if I count the lip liners as 2, left in my project pan. Because of that, I want to add some more things. I was kind of hesitating what I want to add, but I definitely know that I don't want to add an eyeshadow palette for reasons mentioned earlier. And I also want to be realistic and not too hard on myself. I want to add things that I really think I will be using every day anyways, that using them every day will not disturb my routine in any ways, and that I will enjoy them basically. So I picked a few products that I want to finish up. The first one I want to mention is a lipstick. It's the Fenty Beauty Slip Shine lipstick in the shade Glazed. And the reason why I decided to pick it is, well, two reasons. I really like it. It's a great everyday product. It's moisturizing, it smells nice, and it's a great everyday color for me. And I also recently used it quite a lot, and I don't really have a lot left. This is all I have left. It's twisted up fully to the top. And as you can see, if I continue using it a lot, I think I will be done with it quite soon. I discovered that it's a great lip product that gives me color but is also moisturizing and kind of works as a lip balm. So I could reapply it and it would moisturize my lips and feel good and also look good at the same time. I got it in November of 2022, so it's not the freshest, which is another great reason to finish it. And based on my notes, it costs 26 euro. I don't really see a lot of people talking about them, but I really enjoy these lipsticks, and I can't remember a single person talking about them. I got it just of curiosity because it's Fenty, and I really love it. I can't really tell what the scent is, but it's sweet, it's quite delicate, it's not intense. The lipstick itself is quite sheer, it's very hydrating, it's shiny. I will swatch it next to my ugly Huda Beauty swatches. It's a warm nude color. It's not really offensive and it works with a lot of looks. And I feel like it works amazingly with my Huda Beauty Bombshell lip liner. So I think it will be quite easy for me to finish this lipstick up. So this goes to the finishing category. Another thing I really want to finish up, and that is also quite getting there old, is my Fenty Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats. I have it in a mini and I still was using it since August of 2020. I got it in a set with a mini lip gloss. I forgot the name of it. What is the name of Fenty lip glosses? Whatever. So it was in a set with a lip gloss. As you can see, it is almost done. You can definitely see a lot of the pan. There is barely any left. I love using it as a topper. I rarely use it as a solo highlighter. Usually I have a less shiny highlighter underneath and then I put it on top. And I really love using it that way. And this is exactly how I'm planning to use it. Quickly moving on, the next highlighter that I'm also planning to use up is my Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer in the shade Mesmerize. I don't even remember when I got it or like what was in the set with it. I definitely got it in a set and I got it somewhere in the 2022. Not sure. I wasn't really good at tracking in that year. I think combining this with my Fenty Diamond Balm will be the perfect cheek for me. I think this will be a good base. I don't really like it on itself. I think it's not shiny enough. I prefer a shinier cheek, which is also why I usually prefer a powder highlighter. I feel like they are more intense usually. But I think in this combination together, they will be shiny enough for me. So I kind of consider this a set, but this is also a product that I want to try to finish up. Apart from using it with this, I might also mix it with a blush or use it as a luminizing primer. I'll definitely experiment with it, but I want it gone from my collection. It's not my favorite product. I will not repurchase it after I'm done with it. I have a powder version of the Mesmerize highlighter, and I think that one is way, way better if you like to be seen from space like me. Keeping the theme, I will continue with cheek products, and this time I will also include two products, and those are my Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I have them in the shade Joy and Happy. Joy is more orangey on the left, and then Happy is the pinky shade on the right. This is the shade Joy, and this is the shade Happy, and this shade definitely is more my style, but I definitely feel like I can make both of them work. And they have a light serum-y consistency, even though there's a lot of pigment. I feel like they blend out quite well. The reason why I want to include them in my project pan is, one, I feel like they will kind of go with the highlighter, but also two, I don't think I use them enough. They are such loved product in the makeup community, and I feel like I don't really share that love. I had the shade Joy since somewhere in the 2022, probably similar to the highlighter, and I barely used it. You can possibly tell by how it looks like in the packaging. There's no dent in it. In September of 2022, I got the shade Happy. I thought that because it's a pink shade, more my kind of shade, that I will use it more. And I did a little. I think I like this shade more, but still I wasn't using it enough. These are just one of those products in my collection that are just staying there, and I kind of like them to be there and I like having them, but I don't really use them, and I want to change that. I want to really get to know them. I want to find out if they are really that pigmented, because I feel like from when I was using them, sometimes they were and sometimes they weren't, so like I'm kind of confused. I used the shade Joy today, and I didn't feel like it was super pigmented at all. So I don't know. So for both of these, I want to set a goal to use them 10 times each. So that means I have 20 days of blush set. I wanted to include both of them just to mix and match between shades. And yeah, we'll see how I feel about them in my next check-in, and also like when I'm done with my 20 uses. And there's one last product that I want to include in my project pan. And if you've been watching my channel, you might have seen it coming, maybe, potentially. And it's my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Cottage Cheese. It looks like that. And it's the one product that I have since a very long time. It's beautiful, it's shiny. I really like using it as a base for my inner corner highlight. Not only because it's shiny and white, but also because it helps the powders stick to it more. I have it since 2020. It's an eye pencil. I think it's too old to be still in my collection. As I already mentioned in one of my past videos, you can really tell how old it is by the fact that it's not twist up, because now it has been reformulated, or at least the packaging was changed, and it's now twist up and mine is not. I want to use it up, I want to get rid of it. If I don't use it up, I think I should declutter it. So I want to get as much use of it as I can before I have to do that. And I know that if I only continue using it as the base for my inner corner highlight, there's no way I will use it up. Because of that, I want to include it in my project pan, and I want to force myself to use it in other ways. Those other ways, I think, will be mainly my eyeshadow base. I think that will be the main thing. However, sometimes I tried to use it as a highlighter on my very natural makeup days, and it worked nice, so I might also do that. But basically, I just want to find ways and really focus on getting as much use of it as I can before I have to get rid of it. It's a very nice product. However, knowing myself now, I don't think I need to have a product like that. While I really like the look it gives me and how it intensifies my inner corner highlight, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a necessary thing in my collection to have a product that is taking space in my drawer and also in my mind, and it's just for this one very small spot on my face. I think a lot of my highlighters work totally fine without the base, so I think I want to finish it up, get rid of it, and then not have something like that again. I want to use other things that I already have for this purpose. So while I have it, I want to use it up and then say goodbye to this category of product as a whole. I think it might take me a while, so you might see it in more than one project pan check-in after this one. I think 11 is enough. I am, apart from doing this project pan, obviously using my makeup apart from that. So I am using up things that are close to being used up. I was considering adding my ABH Brow Freeze to my project pan because I am almost done with it. But I don't think it really makes sense because it is something that I use every day anyways. So I don't need to focus on it. It's just my everyday base product. And I was considering a few other things, but I think it's enough. I think we're good. I'm happy with it. I will take a note of how many times I have used them all so far. And in my next update, I will be able to tell you how many times I used it since now. With that being said, I think we're done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you're also doing project pan, how you're doing. If you're an experienced project panner, let me know how I am doing. If that's even close to how it's supposed to look like. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment. If you don't know what to comment, let me know what lip product you're wearing at the moment when you're watching. And what do you think about it? Is it good? Do you recommend it? If you're into no buy years, project panning, conscious consumerism, trying to be minimalistic with a huge makeup collection. If you like observing someone trying to get there, I think you need to subscribe. So please do like, comment, and subscribe. And in the meantime, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I hope my swatch hand was useful.